broad question, but that you're entering SEC play. How do you feel about your team's non-conference performance?
Man, I guess I'd take 19-1. Obviously, it was a tough game against South Alabama, and all the credit to their pitcher. Miss Lackey was terrific. She's the only kid that's beaten us, non-conference twice in her career in the state of Alabama, so kudos to her. But we just didn't make enough adjustments that game, so we're going to learn from that. And then, right after that, we beat a really good Arizona team for the second time on the weekend, so it was a good tournament. I told you guys this last week, but I think all those teams are going to be in the in-state tournament. The RPI came out, and we were in the top 10. Arizona, I think, is top 20. South Alabama was top 35, and Northern Iowa was 55, and they're going to go up because they play at Arkansas this weekend, so more opportunities for them.
You talked before the season about a big question for you being, how do you replace Montana Fouts when your pitching staff has the best CRA in the country? Did you see this coming, or honestly, have you been a little surprised at how well they've done through the first 20 games?
No, I wish Lance was standing right here because it's all him and the 6 young ladies and everybody that catches in the bullpen, because I know it was scheduling-wise, catcher-wise, the whole thing was when you go from 3 to 4 to 6, you wouldn't think it's that big of a deal. And then I think about Coach JJ at baseball, and he has 20. And I'm like, well, shit, if he can do it, we can do it, right? But all 6 have just done really well. And other than the 2 injuries to Essman and Brisky, they have done everything we've asked them to do. Have just been really, really good with hitting their spots. Fewer walks. Like Jayla probably averaged 7 to 8 pitches a batter last year, and now it's 4 to 5. I mean, she's filling up the strike zone. Beaver was just a great addition, and I think I also said this to you guys, but the first or second inning over Georgia Tech in her first game, she's pitching against Villanova, and I kind of elbowed Lance, and I said, who the heck is this? Because it was way different than what it was in practice, and I don't know if it was the lights, if it was game, it was her adrenaline, but it was like, wow. And she's continued to do that. And Ailey, of course, has been a great addition too. She's throwing frisbees up there every other pitch. So that's what he wanted, was a very diversified staff that didn't look the same. Whoever re-entered, entered, started, came in relief, it's supposed to look different. And when you look at Major League Baseball, when you go, the starter for 4 innings, the short relief, middle relief, the long middle relief, the reliever, they're way different. And he's done that.
Coach, obviously the offense didn't go particularly well last weekend, but how did you like getting that experience for your pitchers, having to do closer games and having, that pressure on them to really keep it close?
I don't like that. But it's a necessary thing where you got to win a game 1-0 or 9-8. It's probably going to happen. And I'd much rather do it at home, But you're right, offensively, we just didn't do enough. We scored 4 runs in 4 games. Well, thank God we shut out 2 people and held them to 1. And, we're looking at 3-1. But if it wasn't for the pitching and defense, it could have gone the other way. Easy. So those 2 were constant all weekend. But we need to get going offensively.
I know you've talked in the past, sometimes you can do the right things at the plate and hits still don't come. Do you feel like that was what happened last weekend, or do you want to see kind of changes in approach to the plate?
Well, not the game against South Alabama, because if you go through the box score, which I did several times, it was 15 pop-ups, or flyouts, let's say that. There was a couple line drives, but for the majority were flyouts. And there wasn't one ground ball that they had to pick up and throw. Field, throw, catch. That was disappointing. So we've got to do something different, making an adjustment quicker. And she's a good pitcher, but we got to do something different. So that's on me. And so this week has been a lot of execution stuff, small ball, slap and run, hit and run, things like that. So I can't sit and wait, for a 2-run home run. I got to make something happen.
Coach, when you refer to, adjustments, are you talking more about pitch selection or more of just approach at the plate?
Well, just too many barrels under balls, and if you pop up or fly out twice on the same pitch, You either don't swing at that pitch or you do something differently in the box. You know, you either move up, move back, shorten up, you know, something different. And, you know, we always say, you know, you're going to battle your butts off with 2 strikes. And there was several 4 to 3 pitch at bats. That's not enough. We didn't make her sweat at all. You know, other kids we did. The Northern Iowa lady, it was a great game, but she threw a lot of pitches and we wore her down.
You mentioned Essman and Brisky. Are there any updates on their injuries? Or are they still day-to-day?
Brisky's probably going to pitch. She pitched yesterday. She's going to pitch again today. So that was awesome to see. Essman hit. Today is what, Thursday?
Yes.
She hit Tuesday and Wednesday because we took two days off this week. And she looked pretty good. She got a hit. She got to hit against live pitching yesterday. And then she'll do it again today versus me and one of the managers. So she looked pretty good too.
Florida and Alabama have been 2 of the top programs in the SEC. Just how big is this weekend opening conference play with them?
Oh, it's awesome, you know, and I think it's a very classy rivalry. It's nothing dirty about it because they play the right way, and I hope we do too. And you're right, Katie, it's been us and them. Shoot, it was us and them for like 12 straight years, whoever won the SEC. So we have great respect for Coach Walton, his staff, his players. They've got a young team. You know, I've got a fairly young team, but I've also got new people in a lot of positions. We have a ton of sophomores that are on the field that weren't in starting roles last year, and he's got a ton of freshmen that are either starting or, you know, it's their biggest role or freshman. So it might be a different look for our fans because, you know, we haven't played them for a while either. So it's going to be weird because, you know, they haven't seen Kayla, they haven't seen Ailey, they haven't seen Brisky, so, but we haven't seen any of their pitchers either. So this could be a really interesting series.
You talked about, and that happens from time to time where you don't play somebody for a while. And next year, 2 more teams in. Are they going to adjust the schedule, or have you heard anything
Now,
about that?
it's going to be eight series again. So it'd be 15 teams, 14, you know, you don't count yourself. So we play 8 of the 14. And then whoever you don't play the 1 year, which would be 6, right? You would automatically play them the next year and rotate randomly computer. It's all by the computer. You would pick up the 2. So it's just luck of the draw or bad luck of the draw, whatever way you look at it. I do know for sure that Oklahoma comes here in 25. So
Get your tickets now.
yeah, that's right. Hey, shout it from the rooftops, Kirk. Yeah, it's going to be fun. But obviously, you know, you have 8 series. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to throw out all the cliches that you guys have heard since you were 4 years old. But it is. You can't let one bad game ruin a whole conference season because there's way too many good teams. And I think it's the team that comes ready to play every single game is the one that's the most consistent. And at the end of the 24 games, that's the one that's going to hold the trophy up at the conference tournament at Auburn.